they speak religious text to people in general. This is from 12th canto. What is Kali Yuga? Sikarame Vichadva Dampatya Ratre Sutrame Vipate Prate Lavanyam Kishadharanam. So Kali Yuga means chaos. But there is one good quality. Kirta Kalodashanide Rajan Astiya Kanman Mahaguna Mahan Guna Kirtana Deva Krishna Se Mukta Sangha Param Rajat. But sincere people, by chanting the holy name, they can go back to Godhead. A person dacoit goes to hell only one time. But Vaishnava offender, he goes through endless miseries. So a dacoit is better than a Vaishnava offender. A dacoit is better than a Vaishnava offender. Hare Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he revealed this pastime in Navadvipa. So what is that? Last week we discussed how he showered his grace on Murari Gupta. Now, how Lord Chaitanya dealt with Devananda Pandit. Let us see. So, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavata, they speak of pure devotional service. Pure devotional service in practice. So it is very easy to correlate because they are all devotees in Kali Yuga. Maybe situation was a little different. But they showed the highest form of, they exhibited the highest form of bhakti. One day, so slowly the Navadvip residents, they saw Lord Chaitanya performing pastimes with in the house of Srivas Thakur, and he was Lord Chaitanya was revealing his pastimes to Gadadhar Pandit, Nityananda Prabhu and other devotees. So one day Lord Chaitanya decided to go to the home of Maheshwari Sharada. He was living close to a dam on Ganga, but next to this place is Devanand Pandit's home, a Brahmana scholar aspiring for liberation. Please listen carefully. He was very renounced and learned and unattached to material life. He was also teacher of Srimad Bhagavatam, but unfortunately, the teaching did not contain any bhakti. The teaching was free from bhakti. It is devoid of bhakti. So people praised him. Anybody tells the story of Prahlad, anyone would appreciate. But this doesn't have this is whatever he would speak was devoid of bhakti. Hare Krishna. For that reason, he didn't understand the essence of Bhagavatam. That pure devotion, his heart, he did, what is that? His heart was not touched by the emotional sentiments, the devotional feelings, even though he was renounced, he has not attained the eligibility to read Srimad, to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is a Paramahamsa Sayita, a set of devotees, pure devotees, Why it is like that, only Krishna knows. So some of you know this story. One day, what is that? What happened? Two things. Lord Chaitanya, as a super soul, he knew everything. A supreme personality of Godhead. He knew the past, present, and future. So one day, Lord Chaitanya and his associates, they were passing by Devanand Pandit. Devanand Pandit was giving lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam, which was this was devoid of the process of bhakti, Hare Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry. What is this foolish man saying? Is totally ignorant of the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam. What right he has to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam is actually literal incarnation of Krishna. And Bhagavatam speaks of the ultimate devotional service to the lotus feet of Krishna. So Bhagavatam speaks of Sambandha Vidya Prayojana. What is the Prayojana? Establishing the relationship with Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, but if you speak Bhagavatam without touch of bhakti, and then what is it? Hare Krishna. Right? The four Vedas they're compared to the pot of yogurt. But if you churn it, you'll get butter. And butter is Srimad Bhagavatam. In other words, Bhagavatam is the essence of Vedic literature. Nivagama kalpa tarovar garitam phalam sukha mukadam sukha mukadamrita yuta samyadam Srimad Bhagavatam pivata rasamalayam muraho rasika bhuvavuka. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of Vedic literature. Vrindavan Das Thakur says this is actually the cream of the Vedic literature. The cream of the Vedic literature, exactly. So Lord Chaitanya is telling, Sukadeva Goswami is very dear to me. He knows the esoteric truths of Srimad Bhagavatam, filled with the descriptions of my absolute position and nature as Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why Shankaracharya did not write commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam? Because everywhere you will see devotees perceiving some not everywhere, somewhere Paramatma, some devotees getting Paramatma realization. They see Paramatma in their heart. So there's some people having Bhagavan realization, some people having Paramatma, some people having. So Bhagavatam, so there are two souls, very clear everywhere. Bhagavatam says that. Which is different from what Shankaracharya was postulating. So, Tassajjane Bedabhavat. So Krishna means Krishna is devotees. So in one sense, of course, qualitatively, pure devotees are, Krishna. That's why I said Krishna means what? Krishna and his Antaraj. Antaraj includes devotees. In that sense, devotees are non-devotees, they are very dear to Krishna. Hare Krishna. So if you differentiate between me and my pure devotees, then the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam is lost. This fool doesn't know anything about Bhagavatam. and he's lecturing about Bhagavatam without mentioning Bhakti. I'll tear his books into pieces today. Lord Chaitanya became angry. And he wanted to go to that home and, do this. And all the devotees stopped him. My Lord, please. Hare Krishna. So Bhagavatam, that's why, what is that? One needs qualification. So, Nigama Kalpataru ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಫುಲ್. ಆರಾಧ್ಯ ಭಗವಾನ್ ಬ್ರಜೇಶತನಯ ತದ್ಧಾಂ ವೃಂದಾವನಂ ರಮ್ಯಾ ಕಾಚಿತಪಾಸನ ವ್ರಜವತಿ ವರ್ಗೇಣ ಕಲ್ಪಿತ ಶ್ರೀಮದ್ ಭಾಗವತಂ ಅಮಲಂ ಪುರಾಣಂ ಶ್ರೀಮದ್ ಭಾಗವತಂ ಪುರಾಣಂ ಅಮಲಂ ಪ್ರೇಮಾಪಮೃತೋ ಮಹಾನ್. Chaitanya Manjusha. So Bhagavatam is the, that wish fulfilling, the ultimate literature, and it rejects other cheating religion because the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam is only love of God. It doesn't speak of the Chaturveda Purushartha. It speaks about the Panchama Purushartha only. What is the Panchama Purushartha? Bhakti, which will culminate in Prema. Hare Krishna. So what is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam? Bhakti. Bhakti is eternal, Bhagavan is eternal, Bhakta is eternal.
Sparkle.
Hare Krishna. So, so what has happened? Actually, one time, even Mayavadi, sometimes they speak on, how long can you speak on tiny aphorisms? So, you tell stories of Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna, sometimes speak on Ramayana. What do they know? It's cheating actually. Why? Ramayana means, Srimad Bhagavatam means Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But for you, God is illusion. Then why are you speaking Bhagavatam? That is wrong. So to have faith, to develop faith or to speak Bhagavatam, one needs to have faith on Nityananda Prabhu, Guru Tattva. Nityananda Prabhu means Guru Tattva. For those people, bhakti is the ultimate thing. Hare Krishna. You need the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If anybody disrespects Nityananda Prabhu, they will not. Or, for that matter, Balramji, they are origin of Guru Tattva. That's why Avaishnava Mutadgirna Pota Harikata Amritam Sravaneneva Kartavyam Sarpochishtam Yathapayo. We should not listen from non-devotees. We should not listen Bhagavatam from non-devotees. Even if they speak very well. I want to tell you something interesting. Before coming to Krishna consciousness, I used to sing so many songs. Some are from Sri Sampradaya. So sweet, melodious. Sometimes they come to my mind. I ask myself, do you want to please your mind? Or do you want to go back to Godhead? Does it happen to others also? So I would answer, I want to go, I want to please Guru Parampara, go back to Godhead. If Krishna wants me to. Then what is the use of this song? What is the use of this stotra? You're all listening. Anyone has this type of, I'm sure many Indians, for that reason. Then I said, no, I don't want. But the conditioning for so many years before coming to Krishna consciousness, sometimes it surfaces. This, what is that, this Ashtakam, this one, or this song. Maybe it is born of Sampradaya. In India, a chaste wife, once she leaves, she goes to in-laws home. She has to follow the husband. Not what she used to follow in the childhood, from what she learned from her parents, she doesn't need. So as you are initiated or aspiring to be initiated, this is your, this is what you have to go follow it if you really want to go back to God. Otherwise, it will create trouble in your spiritual life. What do you say? Anyone?
That's correct, Prabhuji. That's perfect.
Very true, Prabhuji.
So some of you, go back to your previous life, in the sense, so actually, some nice, what is it? Nice songs, especially movie songs, maybe very devotional, but ours is very pure Krishna consciousness, very, very pure Krishna conscious philosophy. So only one question you have to ask. Do you want to please your mind, or you want to go back to God? You want to please Krishna and eternal love of God. Godhead is in Krishna sense, of course. Guru in Krishna sense. Srila Prabhupada. The answer is no. I want eternal love of God. Then all right, then give it up. But sometimes mind is so agitating. I want to sing this. Does it happen to anyone or not?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So,
Yes, Prabhuji.
then you have to tell, no, this is not needed. No, definitely not needed. But the conditioning is there. If you sincerely pray, you eventually will become free. So anyway, so what is that? Devotee said, my Lord, please, please, please. Other people, wow, Devananda Pandit, scholar, because he knows so many verses, he speaks so nicely, But truth, who knows the truth very well? Devotees know the truth. The master of devotees, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, knows the truth. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry. What does he know? What is the qualification he has? Nothing. Why Balramji punished the Ramaharshana? Hey, you are only teaching. Actually, it's very easy to speak when somebody is listening. Very difficult to apply in one's life. One time, one professor asked one question. When I give lecture, people come in my Bhakti Riksha, people come to me and say, Prabhuji, what a lecture you gave. I really applied it and I gave up this bad habit. Wow, these guys, But the reality is, I did not give up that bad habit. How is it possible? When I myself struggling, whoever has heard, they could give it up, but I couldn't give it up. The answer was, when you are speaking, especially you are connected to your parampara, Krishna is speaking to you through you. Krishna is speaking to you and others through you. But if they are very sincere, because they are very sincerely listening with an intent to change, they have applied that Krishna's words and they changed. Because you are duplicious, you are so much fond of speaking only, not with an intent to change. They changed, you didn't change. Aman, have understood? Understanding?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So then sometimes I'm unable to change. It's a weakness. Then ask devotees to please pray. Can you please pray? Yes. Then over a period of time we can. Otherwise, by speaking nicely, nobody can go back to Godhead. Yes, but of course, that is this superfluous statement. By speaking devotional service, it's also devotional service. Eventually one will go back to Godhead, but it will take a long time. But if some, and I'm sorry, I'm just correcting it. If we speak with an intent to change, we, especially the speaker himself, then he'll not take so much time. That's why, what is that? Samsiddhar Haritoshanam. Srila Prabhupada, he would travel everywhere. And the mantra, those days to please Srila Prabhupada, what is the mantra? Book distribution. So Prabhupada, how can we please Krishna? How can we please you? Guru, book distribution. Srila Prabhupada came to New Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada, what should we, how can we please you? Prabhupada said, please Krishna, serve Krishna, with an intent to please him. Otherwise what? Shramevahi kevalam. Dharmaswan sitapumsam vishwaksena kadasya na utpadayet yati ritim. Shramevahi kevalam. Whatever you are doing, it is not helping you develop attraction. Ritim. Towards the lotus feet of Krishna. You are grinding the husks that, you are, what is that? You are beating the husks that have no rice in it. If you bring the paddy plant, start beating on the ground with an intent to get rice out of it, paddy out of it, but it has no paddy in it. Already somebody has done it. So you're beating the empty husk. So the point is, one has to be thoroughly honest. Srila Prabhupada told, please, Prabhupada told Nirunda different, he gave a different instruction. One day, Prabhupada would give different instructions to different people. This man, I forgot just now, if I forgot his name. He was constructing the temple. He was constructing Krishna Balaram temple. He was actually an architect and sannyasi also. This is Kartik. People were coming and chanting, even though they were going to parikrama, Haribol. This Prabhu was miserable. So this, because he has to deal with the cement, bricks, and so Prabhupada came and Prabhupada, I'm miserable. Prabhupada said, no.
Tamal Krishna Maharaj.
No. Whatever Prabhupada told him to, Prabhupada said, what is it? He's a big architect actually. So Prabhupada said, this is what your Guru asked you to do. This is pure devotional service. Hare Krishna. And one devotee Prabhupada said, this Prabhupada told him, you're doing right, perfect. Dealing with the, taking care of the cement bags, bricks and cement. Actually Prabhupada told him, you are building a home for Krishna. Krishna is building a home for you in the spiritual world. He told this to two people, one person involved in Jew construction, and another, I'm unable to, I'm becoming, I'm aging out nowadays. That name didn't come. But anyway. So then Prabhupada, one devotee came, Prabhupada, this is amazing place, Vrindavan. Prabhupada said, if you really ask me, you go and travel. Don't stay in Vrindavan. Wow. Yes, Prabhupada. 5 minutes later, one devotee came and said, Prabhupada, I cannot stay here, I cannot be part of construction. Prabhupada said, what are you talking? This is Vrindavan. Everyone is trying to come to Vrindavan. You stay here and do service. And this devotee, Prabhupada said to one person, leave Vrindavan. He told another person, you stay in Vrindavan. What is good for them, Prabhupada knows. Like a doctor. You're listening, right? So, anyway, what is that? So, he was speaking Bhagavatam, Lord Chaitanya. Chaitanya was angry. Lord Chaitanya devotee stopped him, but no, I want to go him today. I really, really want to punish him. Srivas Thakur fell at his feet. My Lord, please. Please don't go inside. Lord Chaitanya said, I should be restricted by rules and regulations. I have rules and regulations in this world. My Lord, you are a universal father. No, please. Anyway, what is that? The devotees dissuaded him from going inside. Then what? That the episode ended. And one day what happened? So he was going around. Suddenly one day they came to the outskirts of Navadvip. And, so they came to a panashala, liquor shop. When he smelled wine, he remembered Varuni. Varuni means a beverage made up of honey, favorite of Balramji. So, so he said, when immediately he got into the mood of Balram, and he told Shivas, let us go inside. Shivas Thakur said, my Lord, no, my Lord, please, please. But you are stopping me. Rules don't work for me. My Lord, you are a universal father. If you violate these rules, then, who will uphold them? People will criticize you, Hare Krishna. People cannot understand. If you really ask me, if you insist that you will go inside, I'll drown in Ganga. Oh, really? Lord Jesus said, all right. So Lord Jesus said, I will not go. The drunkards from inside saw Nimai. So when they said, Hari, 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 Nimai Pandit is a very good gentleman. He sings very well. So he sings very well and he dances very well. And they saw the Lord. Immediately, what happened? They all came. They started, Haribol, Haribol. They started, wow, amazing. So Lord was very pleased by the efforts of the drunkards in chanting the holy name. So when devotees saw the Lord's potency, they were very happy. But drunkards were also very happy to see Lord Chaitanya. But envious people, they criticize the Lord. Envious, that's why envy is such a deadly thing. We should all, I'm talking to myself, should pray. My Lord, remove this one quality. Anyway, how Lord has, when how drunkards chanted the holy name, they became intoxicated with the holy name. That's the power of Lord Chaitanya. But as Lord went forward, again he saw Devananda Pandit. When he saw Devananda Pandit, again he came to with the mind. So see, Lord Chaitanya has not revealed his divinity to the public yet. By this time, only devotees knew. You all know what happened, right? What is that incident Lord Chaitanya remembered? Because there was nobody to speak, nobody would lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam. Srivas Thakur went to listen the lecture of Devananda Pandit. When Devananda Pandit was speaking, as soon as Srivas Thakur heard the words of Srimad Bhagavatam, the verse, He started crying. Hare Krishna. He started crying, and all the students, they felt, they were all like, what is that, logicians, the agnostics. So they felt he was a disturbance, sentimentalist. He's wasting your time. So what they did, they picked him up and they threw him out of the home. Hare Krishna. That's why whatever parents do, children imitate. Whatever leaders do, followers imitate. So actually, as a leader, we have a moral responsibility. Devanand Pandit did not say anything. And for that reason, he became part of the offense. All right. So when Lord Chaitanya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Devanand Pandit, Lord Chaitanya went. Say, Krishna loves his devotees. He went, oh, Devanand Pandit, wait. I heard you give discourse on Bhagavatam. One day, when there Srivas Thakur, Srivas Pandit was listening to your class, some of your students dragged him outside. When he was, meditating on the pastimes of Krishna Leela, your students, they pushed him out. What was his offense? One should not have spiritual emotions, and one cannot cry during the Bhagavatam session. One cannot appreciate Bhagavatam. One cannot appreciate the long relationship with Krishna. That type of people should be bragged and should be dragged out, and they should be treated with contempt. You and your devotees, you and your followers, they mistreated this devotee. So the association of Srivas Thakur, Gangadev also wants that his association. I'm telling you, you may be teacher of Bhagavatam. You do not possess even a tiny, even little bit of piety to understand the real purport of Srimad Bhagavatam. You do not know, you know nothing. You don't know that Bhagavatam will give you unlimited pleasure. Lord Chaitanya was very heavy. So heavy. And what he did, he felt ashamed. See, a very important thing is, our usually aparadha is because of the uncontrolled tongue, uncontrolled mind. I am king in this actually. Sometimes I'm worried. I request everyone to please pray for me actually. Because why do we offend devotees? Why do we become judgmental? Anybody who has a pride in the heart, who is egoistic, what is it? Ahankar, false ego. Many times I told in the class, but I myself have not learned. So it's very important actually, Otherwise, time will run out. Hare Krishna. Can everyone pray for me that I become free? I'll also pray for all of you. Otherwise, this judgmental attitude is deadly actually. He was giving classes on Bhagavatam, speaking for so long. What is the use? you know. But one good thing happened was Devanand Pandit did not retaliate. He became ashamed. For somebody to be, when somebody is chastising you, you're ashamed means you have humility. If you're arrogant, you'll respond. Who are you? How do you know? I don't have any role. Because Lord Chaitanya was also anger. That time he did not know Lord Chaitanya's divinity. One time, one brahmachari, we went to Yatra actually. This Prabhu, what is that personal servant of His Holiness Radhana Swami actually. One senior brahmachari came and he gave him left and right. There were like probably 20 people around, 25 people around. Hare Krishna. And he kept on smiling. He didn't say anything. I said, wow. I told him, Prabhuji, you're worshipable for me. Wow. How is that you have such a composed, mentality, No, he said, I'm fallen, What he said is right. Amazing. Wow. How many of you agree, exhibit such a great quality? That when everyone was around. Great, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji.
Somebody's giving you left and right, and if you keep on smiling, wow. I told him many times, Prabhu, seeing you is the purification of my eyes, I said actually. So not however, you may be erudite scholar, or you may know so many verses, or when you give class, so many people listen. What is the use? Time is running out. Still another nivritti only, or still nishta only. Where is the ruchi? Where is asakti? So what is the thing? Devanand Pandit became ashamed. He did not react. He felt home, but he was broken hearted. अरे ऐसा हो गया, ऐसा नहीं होना था. It happened, but it shouldn't have happened. So Krishna's chastisement is, or Lord Chaitanya's chastisement is very good. Because Krishna is absolute. Anything Krishna does is great. If we accept with the humility. For acceptance, we need to have little humility actually. If somebody accepts Lord Chaitanya's chastisement, very soon blessed with pure devotional service. Otherwise, if we do not care about the wrath of Krishna, will be perished. Who did not care the wrath of the Lord? Or, is there any example in the history? The Lord became angry, they didn't care, but they continued their wrongdoing. Can anyone say an example? Kartavirya Arjuna's and his children, they tried to take away Jamadagni's cow. And what they did? Later they killed Jamadagni also and took away the cow. So Kartavirya Arjuna, when initially happened, Parasuramji was very angry. They thought he is an ordinary person, but he is not an ordinary person. He is a supreme personality of Godhead, of course, empowered incarnation. Saktavish. And he went and he killed all his children, and he killed Kartavirya and 21 generations of Parashuramji removed from the earth. Hare Krishna. But when here Lord chastised Devanand Pandit, Devanand Pandit became ashamed. Arey galat ho gaya. One needs to have some certain humility to accept the wrong, to accept the mistake. Even if you do mistake, if you accept your mistake, you are forgiven. If not, we have a very long way to go. Krishna manifests himself, Chaitanya Bhagavat says, in 4 forms. Srimad Bhagavatam, Tulasi, Ganga, and a Mahabhagavad devotee. Of course, Krishna is, Krishna manifests in his, in the form of deity, but the deity needs installation. And you have to invite the Lord to come into the form. Then only deities become worshipable. But in the case of Tulasi, Ganga, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Mahabhagavad devotee, they are special forms of Krishna. Haribol. What are the 4 special forms of Krishna in Kali Yuga? Or any Yuga, of course. Huh? I just not told.
Tulasi, Mahabhagavad devotee, and
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Bhagavat, Ganga.
And
Ganga.
so all the 4 things, okay, yes. Tulasi, Ganga, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Mahabhagavad devotee, yes. Then after that, one day, what happened? This is very instructive. Externally, what we do doesn't matter. Internally, is Krishna pleased with us or not? Everyone, so Devanand Pandit went his home, but he went through so much of mental suffering. Why? Because of his association with the Mayavadis, mundane students and scholars. So everyone considered Devanand Pandit great and saintly, but he had to run away from Lord Chaitanya's presence. He couldn't bear that presence. So Lord Chaitanya is attained by the grace of Vaishnavas only. Hare Krishna. So it's not that we are not what people think we are. We are what Krishna thinks we are. Hare Krishna. When Lord's mercy is not there, we'll be suffering like anything, either mentally or physically. But when we come in the association of devotees, people respect. Then I say, you start again, behaving the way devotees want you to behave, they will respect you anyway. No. But Krishna is chastising you means there is a reason, become humble. Even in the association of devotees. Hare Krishna. So one day, can you believe? Sachimata, when Lord Chaitanya appeared as, Prusnigarbha, she appeared as a Prusni and gave birth to the Lord with her husband Sutapa. Then when he came as, she came as Aditi and through her husband Kashyap Muni gave birth to Vamandev. Then later, he himself came as Krishna. She was actually Yashoda. and Nanda Maharaj. Till one day, Lord Chaitanya, what he did, he picked up all the Salagram Silas, he put them on his lap, and then he manifested his supreme form. I'm Narayan, Krishna, who appears in Kali Yuga in the form of holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So as Ramchandra, I built the bridge, but in Svetadvipa, as Vishnu, I lie down. But the calls of Advaitacharya brought me down. I have come to this world to freely distribute Krishna Prema. And Advaitacharya Srivas, whatever you want, I'll give you. Ask. Immediately Nityananda Prabhu saw Lord Chaitanya's, when he revealed his divinity, he immediately held an umbrella. And Gadar Pandit was busy preparing betel nut. And somebody was doing fanning, chamara. And Lord Chaitanya started giving blessings to everyone. Somebody was asking for the deliverance of his father. My Lord, you make my father Krishna conscious. Somebody asked for the blessings of the family members, of son, wife, kids. They were asking. He was giving Krishna Prema to each and everyone. Then Srivas Thakur said, my Lord, I want you to give Krishna Prema to Sachi Mata. Hare Krishna. Lord Chaitanya said, please do not make such a request. My mother has committed offense against a Vaishnava devotee. Hare Krishna. So she doesn't deserve to get the love of God. Krishna Prema. Hare Krishna. Srivas Thakur said, my Lord, that type of words, they take your life air. My Lord, she has taken birth from your womb. Your Supreme Personality of Godhead. I don't know why you refuse her. She's our life and soul. Aditi, she's the mother of the universe, Sachimata. You are her son, my Lord. She's the mother of the universe. How can a son consider his mother offensive? If she has done any Vaishnava Aparadha, please, remove it and give Krishna Prema. When he came, what is that? Kapila Muni instructed his mother Devahuti. That way I can instruct my mother. But I cannot forgive her from Vaishnava Aparadha. That Aparadha has to be forgiven by a person whom she was offensive to. You remember how Durasmani was forgiven? Only when Ambarish Maharaj forgave him, then only he was forgiven. My mother committed offense against Advaitacharya. If Advaitacharya forgives her, then only she will become the recipient of the mercy. She has to take the dust from the feet of Advaitacharya, remove. And devotees are immediately they brought Mother Sachi. And they explained everything too. They brought Mother Sachi to meet Advaitacharya. And they told Advaitacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vishwambar, Gauranga is not giving, Gauranga Mahaprabhu is not giving mercy until he would not give mercy until you forgive her. When Advaitacharya heard this, Vishnu, 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 what are you talking? Do you want me to smash my head? She is a mother of universe. She is a mother of the Lord. She is a mother of everyone. Dust. I should decorate my head with the dust of her feet. I cannot even understand her position. Wow, Haribol, she is the universal mother. As he was actually, She Mother Sachi is actually not different from Ganga Devi. She is Mother Yashoda, Mother Devaki. As he was glorifying the, Sachimata, Advaita fainted in ecstasy. When he fainted in ecstasy, Mother Sachi quickly came and took the dust from his feet. She placed it on her head. And that she became ecstatic, and she fainted too. All the devotees are Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu was very happy with his mother. Mother, now you got rid of your offense to Advaitacharya. All right. I blessed you with Krishna Prema. He gave Krishna Prema to his mother, and all that is what is it. Haribol, Haribol, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Haribol. So he used his mother to teach the whole world the intensity of aparadha. You know, what was her aparadha? What was her aparadha? We'll discuss in the next class. Anyone wants to add any point? I mean, anyone wants to add any comment actually?
Prabhuji, can I ask you a question, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Prabhuji, you mentioned, Prabhuji, about, I think it was about Shloka Krishna Prabhu, I believe you're mentioning about how he was humble, he was not defending himself when authority came and scolded him, Prabhuji.
No, that
Prabhuji,
is not Shloka Krishna. That's one more Rajachandra Prabhu.
okay. Prabhuji, my question is actually, there are times, is it not required to explain the situation, Prabhuji? Otherwise, the superiors may misunderstand and that may affect the service. So in what situation it is appropriate to explain justify the situation, Prabhuji?
If you think, authorities may not be aware of the situation, there is nothing. Humbly you can tell them this is what has happened. There is nothing wrong. As long as humbly we present, there is nothing. Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. And
people
yes,
like
Prabhuji.
When but there is higher thing than this. What is his name? Jiva Goswami. When he defeated Digvijay Pandit, Prabhu Goswami said, "You should not stay here. People, you're very arrogant. You should not stay here. You have no place in Vrindavan. Leave." Jiva Goswami did not defend also. He left. That is a higher state. So my guru knows everything. My guru is right. That is a higher state, but we are not on that state. So humbly, if you can present, this is what has happened. I mean, if you think authorities don't know the facts of the situation, then you can humbly present. You're listening?
Yes, Prabhuji, that helps, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Anyone wants to add anything? What is that you like it today? One line to take home. We all can take.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the wonderful class, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have a question. Prabhuji, usually when we put deities to rest, usually I sing Jo Achyutananda Jojo Mukunda, Prabhuji. And sometimes Annamacharya Kirtans, or sometimes Ramadas, like Eti Rugananu Daya Chochadavu. So can we sing that, Prabhuji, or we shouldn't, Prabhuji? Can you please explain on that, Prabhuji? Thank you. Prabhuji.
Honestly speaking, we are strict sense. No, that's why I'm telling you, conditioning. Jochitananda was written by Annamacharya, yes. But the problem is the conditioning. So you're able to relate the Lord like that. So Lord will understand, yes. But in strict sense, in the strict sense, but same Hare Krishna mantra is enough actually, but because what happens, everything has a mood, the acharyas also have a mood. Bhaktivinoda Thakur mood is different, Narottam Thakur mood is, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur mood is one, Narottam Thakur mood is one. The Sri Sampradaya Acharya's mood is different. But because we are brought up in that from childhood, I can understand, if you consider that as your song and you sing, honestly, I stopped singing, Amma. I know all of them, literally, I know all of these things. And almost, I can say 99.9%. Once in a while, they may slip out of my tongue, but I stopped. But for similar thing, Hare Krishna mantra, because we want to go back, Hare Krishna. So to the extent you are strict with Sampradaya, that much extent you'll make progress. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That is the tune for putting the Lord to rest. That is the, what is that? Shayanarati, literally. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. But especially South Indians, by the time we came to Krishna consciousness, there is some conditioning, strict sense, no, but because you have to become a Gaudiya Vaishnava devotee, then follow Gaudiya Vaishnavism. You're understanding? But the conditioning is there, that's how you are trained. Suddenly, you change now. If you start working, it will take some time. What do you think?
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. It was very clear. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
And do you all agree? I don't know. This is the answer any sannyasi will give. What do you all think?
Prabhuji, I think that's perfect, Prabhuji. That is actually being very chaste to the parampara.
Anyone wants to add anything? Otherwise, we'll end. So thank you very much. And Dandut Pranal Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you so much,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dhanavad Pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.